Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss anything in this wild console war we're all witnessing in real time. Today, we're diving into something so juicy. Sony's PlayStation Portal and how it stacks up against the incoming juggernaut, the Nintendo Switch 2. We're talking design, performance, strategy, and probably most importantly, why Sony is clearly making moves in direct response to Nintendo's next-gen handheld hybrid. Let's break this down. First off, context matters. We're in 2025. The original Switch, released back in 2017, redefined what it meant to be a game on the go. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon, slotted for June 5, and it's bringing real heat. Better graphics, SSD-like load times, DLSS support, new Joy-Con tech, and the whole package. But Sony's been watching us, and now they've upgraded the PlayStation Portal, which originally launched as a streaming-only companion to the PS5. Yeah, you needed a PS5 just to use it. Kinda lame, right? But not anymore. Sony just dropped a major update. Cloud gaming, better UI, and actual standalone functionality. It's not quite a Switch 2 competitor yet, but they're getting close, and that's no accident. Let's be real. The PlayStation Portal wouldn't even exist if the Switch wasn't a thing. Nintendo proved there's a market for handhelds, even in an era dominated by ultra-powerful home consoles and gaming PCs. Sony, they saw the numbers alright. 130 plus million Switch units sold. And with the Switch 2 pre-orders already going crazy, someone needed to remind everyone that, hey, we do portable gaming too. Enter the Portal. But where the Switch 2 is a full-on hybrid, dock it, undock it, redock it, play anywhere. The Portal is more like the Sidequick. It's still tied to the PlayStation ecosystem. It's more of a remote control with a screen than a standalone device. And that is the catch. Let's talk specs, because that's where things really split. The Switch 2 is rumored, and all but confirmed, to have a custom NVIDIA chip with DLSS support, an OLED display, that's debunked pretty handily, improved Joy-Con drift-resistant controllers, also debunked pretty handily, backwards compatibility, and native game performance that rivals the PS4, or even the PS4 Pro. Now, let's compare this with the PlayStation Portal. It has a 8-inch 1080p LCD screen, DualSense controller halves, but you can't take them off, like the Joy-Con. Remote play over Wi-Fi. No local processing power, so that's not good. You're not playing PS5 games on the Portal, you're streaming them from somewhere else. And while it looks cool, and the controllers are awesome, it's not a Switch 2 killer. Not yet. Here's the thing. Sony doesn't want to beat the Switch 2 at its own game. They want to ride the same wave. Yeah. They know the Switch 2 is going to dominate headlines. So instead of trying to compete one-to-one, they're positioning the Portal as a complementary experience. You're at home, the TV's in use, your PS5 is running, boom, pick up the Portal and just keep on playing. But if you're traveling, if you're on a plane, unless you've got great Wi-Fi and cloud gaming works smoothly, you're not gaming on the Portal. The Switch 2 wins, hands down. There. Let's break down real-world use cases. At home, the Portal shines. You can stream from your PS5 with low latency, and the DualSense experience is pretty damn close to playing on your TV. On the go, Switch 2 dominates. You can play Zelda, Mario Kart World, or even Metroid Prime 4. Anywhere. No internet required. Big win for Nintendo. And for us. Commutes, coffee shops, flights. Well, unless you've got god-tier Wi-Fi and patience for cloud hiccups, the Portal becomes kind of useless outside of the home. Meanwhile, Switch 2 keeps crushing it. So yeah, if you're a road warrior or someone who travels a lot, Switch 2, it's the no-brainer. Let's talk games, because that's where this battle really heats up. The Switch 2 is launching with Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime 4, Dragon Drive, which I'm very excited for. That is Nintendo flexing hard. The PlayStation Portal, on the other hand, it doesn't even have its own library. It streams from your PS5. So, technically, yeah, you can play Spider-Man 2 or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but only if you own a PS5 and a solid internet connection. Switch 2 is self-sufficient, Portal is dependent. That's a huge psychological difference. Now, here's a spicy take. Sony doesn't want to go full handheld again. The PSP and Vita, cult classics, but they weren't sustainable for Sony. Instead, they're treating the Portal like an accessory, like the DualSense Edge or PSVR 2. It's for the super fans, the dedicated PlayStation audience. Meanwhile, Nintendo is doubling down on Play Anywhere. The Switch 2 isn't an accessory, it's the main console. It's their entire strategy. And that's a huge contrast. One company is playing defense, the other is going full hog offense. Price matters, especially now. The PlayStation Portal is priced at around... Really? $200? Well, the Switch is priced like $500 now, so... Here's the kicker, though. The Switch 2 is a full console. The Portal is an extension of a $500 PS5, so... You know? So if you're a budget-conscious gamer looking for one device that can do it all, probably get a Steam Deck. Let's speculate for a second. If the Switch 2 sells like its predecessor, and all signs point to yes, Sony's gonna be forced to take portables way more seriously. Again, we might see a Portal 2 with local storage, downloadable games, maybe even a lightweight OS. Basically, a real portable PlayStation that could actually compete. Or, if the Portal flops, and it will flop, they'll double down on the PS5 and PS6 pipeline and leave the Portal space to Nintendo. And maybe even Valve, or, God forbid, Microsoft. But right now, the Switch 2 is setting the pace, and Sony is just trying to keep up. So, let me know where you land. Are you Team Portal? Do you love the DualSense anywhere in the house, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, in the bathroom? Or are you all in on the Switch 2, ready to take Zelda to the kitchen, to the bathroom, to the bedroom, or to the beach? Or to the club, or to school? Let me know in the comments. This space is heating up fast, and honestly, we're just getting started. So make sure to like, sub, and ring that bell. I've got a full Switch 2 deep dive coming soon that you do not want to miss, do I? Catch you in the next one. Peace out.